Welcome to Leading the Follower with your host, Rebecca Benston. Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening. It is June 29th, 2025, and it's been quite a while since I have attempted to do any kind of podcast or anything like that. Had a series of unfortunate events that kept me from getting back to it, and just really lost all momentum and energy, and had to regroup in just about every area of things so that I could keep things moving. But I've been thinking I'm in my vacation month. I say that very loosely because it's not actually a vacation for me. It's just the month that I shut down my publishing company. Kind of on the outside, I'm shut down. I get, we got the vacation message and all that. But I'm still actually working on a lot of things behind the scenes. It's just time for me to kind of put people on hold for just a minute so that I can deal with some strategic things, look at budget and all of the different things that I struggle with throughout the year as a like a one person shop that runs all of the things for Higher Ground Books and Media. So, but anyway, I'm toward the end of that time. Usually I take from June 1st to right after the 4th of July, and just set that time aside for whatever it is that I need to do to tackle the last half of the year, which is usually the busiest half. This month when I took off, I started out by revamping our website. We did a complete overhaul. We being me. It's just me, myself, and I. That's who I call we. Completely redid the website, made it look a little better. I'm hoping that it is a little more appealing to people who are looking for a publisher or for someone to help them write their book or, get publishing assistance with it, because we do both. We do the independent publishing, where we take submissions and review those and put those on the roster if those fit what we're looking for. And we also work with authors who want to publish their books, but they don't necessarily want to be part of a publishing company where they have to answer to people or where they may not get all of their royalties. So we have a couple of different ways that authors can engage with us, and that's new as of last year or so. I started offering that hybrid option, which is not like the hybrid option that most places offer. It is more, we're gonna put you on our roster in the same way that we would one of our independently published books, but you pay a fee up front for the hybrid, and you get 100% of your royalties from that point on. So there is no split. You're paying whatever up front. My portion is taken out of that amount up front. And then as you make money selling your book, if you sell copies, you're going to get 100% of those royalties, instead of splitting that with me 70-30, which has been our usual arrangement. I haven't really pushed it as much because I don't want to be known as one of those vanity type presses. We're not a vanity press by any stretch of the imagination, because I'm still looking at the submissions. I'm still trying to determine if they are ready to be published, if they are at a point where they are up to standard to be out there, because I don't want to be flooding the market with a bunch of books that aren't ready to be out there, and just for the sake of making money. That's never been what Higher Ground Books and Media wants to do. We want people to tell their stories. We want to be able to give them a platform so that they can carry out the purpose and the mission that God has given them. And I feel like with every person's experience, everybody has a story. Some people some people want to tell their story and they want the support of the publishing company, and they just want to be a part of it, and they're okay with just doing the split and everything. Some people really just want all of the royalties, and they want to do their own thing with it once it's out there, and that's fine. And I just decided that there are some who prefer one way and some who prefer the other, and I would like to help all of those people. Anyone who comes to me, they can be sure that I'm going to treat them as I would want to be treated. As an author myself, I went through a lot to try to overcome some of those challenges of just starting out, not knowing how to get here and there, what the best way to promote my book was, how to use the channels available to me in the most effective and efficient way. So I've learned over the last 11 years since I've been doing this that there are ways that you can do this without completely, just going under financially. And I know there are a lot of companies out there that promise you, if you pour thousands of dollars into this, that you're going to, have a bestseller and all of this stuff. But the truth is, you're not really having a bestseller if you're buying bestseller status. And I don't support that at all. I don't want people to come into any agreement with me thinking that when we publish their book, it's automatically going to have all of these people that want to buy it, because that's not reality. That's not the way that it goes. When you publish a book, whether you do it through a publisher or you self-publish, there are things that you're going to have to do as the author to get the word out about your book. There are thousands, I don't know, there might be millions of people out there with books. I'm not really sure how many authors there are. There's a lot. But, the competition out there is huge. And to think that you could just put your book out there and people are just going to be drawn to it just because it's there is just not realistic at all. You really need to continuously research ways to promote based on what your theme of your book is, what your genre, what your goal with the book is, what you hope to accomplish. Um, and it's a constant thing. You have to either have a website or a blog or social media or a mailing list, some way that you connect with people who might want to read what you've written. You have to actively pursue readers, and you have to engage by getting out to events, and you're going to have to get copies of your book to take with you so you can sell them, and that's really how it goes. Most authors find themselves doing events throughout the year, having a mailing list that they have to maintain, on a daily, weekly basis, a website that they have to update, a blog, something like that, where they can write about what they're doing and the things that they plan on doing and what their intent and purpose is. And then social media, if you are on any of the social media, you have to find ways to interact with people there, whether you're in groups or you do videos or you just, publish promos and things like that. You have to be able to do those things or have people do them for you. And there is an investment of time and energy and resources that goes into all of that. I don't care who you are. I can help you do that in the most cost effective way, because that's how I do things as a business owner and as an author and as somebody who wants to see the people that I work with succeed. My whole goal here is to empower you to use your story to get out there and connect with the people that are meant to connect with you so that your story can encourage them to share their story and so on. And through that sharing of our stories, we are healing each other a little bit at a time. So so that's been my focus, and that's what I've worked on. I updated the website. I'm trying to get back to where I can do regular podcasts, and I'm trying to come up with ways to reach out to people to really engage those who want help or need help, and just provide a service that is affordable and one that serves the purpose. I don't promise bestseller status because that's just not even, it's not even really worth having. I mean, you're not going to get rich being an author. I don't think that that's something people should expect. I have been doing this for, oh, 11, 12 years or so. I started writing several years before I started publishing. Um, and I still, if I don't promote, I don't see results. And a lot of the time, because I'm a publisher, my books and my writing is set aside. I don't really do a whole lot of my promotion the way that I normally would because I am promoting my company and I'm promoting the services we offer and I'm promoting the books that we publish. So, but the thing is, the authors who come to me and work with me and really get out there and do what they need to do to promote their platform and talk to people about their story and share their experiences, they are successful in what they're doing, and they are living their dream of being a published author and of helping others. So that's the whole purpose of Higher Ground Books and Media, is to empower people to tell their stories and to help them where we can, and just to get it done without, bankrupting them, and, to keep them from stepping into these scams that are so widespread out there. I mean, in my Facebook feed alone, every few posts is a publishing thing that says, we can get you out there. I even saw one today that was like $433 a month and we'll publish you. And I'm thinking, my God, why would anybody pay $433 a month? It does not take that much to get published. I can take a book and I can usually wrap the editing and the publishing into one package for someone for a regular size, say 200-page book. This is just an example. It's, case by case. Um, Usually I can do all of that for well under $2,000. And that's just because I have to have some some money for my time and resources that I use to put all of it together, because I can't do it for free either. I have to pay for the things that I use to do those things. So, in order to offer the service, I I have to charge something. And for over 10 years, I've been publishing books for people and not charging. And then when I opened up this hybrid thing, it was mainly so that some of the stories that I didn't have room for on a regular roster, so that I could work on those for people and help them, and just kind of, fill in gaps, because I've had so many good stories come to me, but I already had all of my calendar slots completed. So what I needed to do was set aside um, a different batch of, like, you got to buy the ISBN and all of that. And I just had to have a different pool of resources that I could do those other books with, because the others are spoken for through contracts and such. And and I wanted to work with as many people as possible. So, I have a couple of people that work with me to help me do like some of the editing and some of the layout, and that when I get more projects than I have, eyes, hands, and brain cells for. But I can't make any of that happen, and I can't pay attention to any of that if I'm not able to, charge the fee that I charge. So it was a struggle for me because I didn't want to start charging people in any way. I always wanted to do this without having to apply a fee. But there's good reason to have it. It does provide me with the resources that I need to be able to help more people. And um and it's just a good experience for authors, to keep them, on the right path, keep them feeling empowered, like, I can do this. I can get this book written. I can get this book published. I can get it out there. And I already work a full-time job to support all of my bills and pay the bills for my company because I don't really make lots of money as a publisher. Um, and of course, since I'm not promoting myself as an author, I'm not making a lot of money there either. Um, so whatever fees uh, that I'm charging, there's good reason for that. It's to keep me afloat and to keep me able to continue doing the things that I'm doing. And prices on everything have gone up. So just to be able to maintain a website and um, do all of the design and all the stuff that I do and maintain different memberships that I have to maintain in order to stay up to date on trends and all that. I have to I have to pay these bills. So, with all that said, the main purpose is not to pay bills, so. And as I said before, you're not gonna be a millionaire unless you are one of the top publishing houses and you get this huge contract. Like we don't do advances or anything like that. We're just very straightforward. You tell us what you've got. We take your book. We put it into manuscript form. We make sure it's clean. We make sure it's presentable. We do what we can do and we get it out there so that it's able to be read by the people who need to read it. And then it is your job as the author to get out there and let people know about the book. We let people know too, but the majority of the burden of promotion is on the author. Um, so that they really take ownership of their platform and they get out there and they talk to people about it and they do what they need to do. So that is where we're at. And as I round out this little bit of time that I have off, which isn't really time off, as you can tell, um, I'm looking ahead to this last half of the year and I'm trying to find ways to fill the gaps that I see. What is it that people need? What do authors need in order to make good decisions about the publishers they work with and about the services that they purchase and about just the things that they want to do with their book? What can I do as an author and publisher to help them stay informed, to help them stay away from scams? Obviously, I can't, as a business owner myself, I can't sit here and point the finger at other businesses without, you know, conflict. I don't want to cause conflict with other businesses. If you don't do your due diligence with them, that's going to cause a problem for you. You just need to be aware that you have to research, research, research. Don't fall for the showy ads and the all the testimonials that pop up. There's certain language you can tell when you're looking at someone's Facebook. If they put a post up and it's like everything is such a glowing recommendation, and you're just like, well, I know that for a fact is not true. Um, I've read so many of these that it was obvious that the people who were commenting were just like paid commenters, and it wasn't an organic thing. It wasn't someone who had actually used the service. It was somebody that they paid $10 or whatever to post this glowing endorsement for this company. So be very careful when you see these ads that say, "Oh, you just pay this much," and if it's if it's anything over a couple $1,000s, it's likely that it's not what you think it is, because it doesn't take that much to publish a book. It doesn't take that much money. It should never take you $5 or $6 or $7,000 to publish a book. I don't care what promotion package they've got. They're not giving you what you need because you don't want, if you're an author who's serious about being an author, you do not want to buy your bestseller status. You don't want people to look at that sticker and know that you bought that and didn't earn that. And every time people fall for that, it cheapens the entire industry. It is such a blow to authors who work very hard to write a good story and put it out there. Because as we all know, the algorithms out there control everything. And some of the best books never come to the surface because they're being stepped on by these people who pay thousands of dollars to be pushed to the top when maybe their writing isn't so great. Um, and I'm not saying everybody does that. Maybe there's some good writers that also pay for it, but it's not a fair practice and it's not an honest practice. And I don't endorse that at all. I don't like it and I don't support it. Everybody has a story. Some people need help telling that story. Some people don't need as much help, but everybody has the right to tell their story. And if they choose to pay a lot of money to make their story look prettier than it is, well, that's something they're going to have to wrestle with in terms of their conscience and such. I I think it's just a good thing to always put your work out there in the most honest way that you can and let people decide for themselves if it's a story that resonates with them. And you don't need the bestseller sticker to make an impact. You don't need to be a best-selling author to tell a good story or to do something that makes a difference or resonates with people. So people need to keep that in mind, that your story might be read by one person who gets the book from a library and you never know that they got it or read it. They might not pay a penny to read your story. They might not buy a book ever. They might read it as a free thing that they get. And it might make the biggest impact on them ever. It might be the thing that turns them around and inspires them to do their own thing and overcome their challenges. So that bestseller sticker is not the thing that's going to make the difference. So now that I've vented and said all that stuff, it's really been on my mind a lot. I'm so frustrated with all the scammers and all of the the emptiness of what they promise to people, and just just knowing that they're preying on people who don't know any better. It really bothers me. So I'm urging you to do the work, do the research before you put any money into the hands of any of these publishers, including my publishing company. If you don't like the way that I do things, if you don't think that I am flashy enough or that I'm going to be visible enough, then by all means please look for someone who fits you better. But if you want to publish your book and you want to have a good looking book in hand, one that looks professional, that is error free, that has a nice cover, that is attractive to put on your table at your events and all that, and you want someone who's going to deal with you honestly, please consider working with me to do the publishing, the editing, any of the things that you need to get your book out there. I am here to help and I will do a good job for you. But I beg you, please do not throw thousands and thousands of dollars at any of these publishers just based on the fact that they have all of these things that say they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Chances are 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do that. They're going to do something that looks kind of like they did it, but they're not going to do the thing that they're saying. So be careful. I don't like to see people waste their resources on people who are dishonest. So I'm going to continue working on things through my last week or so of my vacation, and I will be back. I'm going to try to put together some sort of a schedule so that maybe I can come back to podcasting regularly. I'm hoping that you'll go over to our website, highergroundbooksandmedia.com, and sign up for our mailing list so that you get regular updates on all of our new releases, our author events, our specials, just anything that we're doing. I'm going to try to have it right there. Let me know what you think of the new design on the website if you've been there before and you just are getting back to it. I really enjoy hearing feedback, and I take all of that to heart. I want to make it something that's useful and provides benefit to people. So, and let me know what kinds of things you need as an author, or what kinds of things you need as a reader. Like, what are you looking for? What kinds of stories are you looking for? What subject matter? What would help you the most? We are a Christian publisher, and so we're trying to, and there, that's a whole different podcast. As a Christian publisher, I'm not talking about the kind of Christian publisher that is doing the whole bells and whistles, concert show environment type thing. I don't, we're not doing the famous Jesus thing over at Higher Ground Books and Media. Jesus is who we follow. God is who we follow. That is it. We read the Bible. We go by what's in the Bible. We try our best to instill the right principles with what we write. That's what we're hoping for, is to empower you to have faith in God and know that He is in control and He will take care of you. And to just understand that whatever you've gone through, whatever you're going through, all you ever need to do is reach out to Him. And He is there all the time for you. It's a very simple thing. We don't, it's not about the jargon, it's not about the Christianese that people use. I just really, just the commercialization of Christianity has made it so difficult for anybody to know who they're following and what they're following. And I want you to know, Higher Ground Books and Media follows God and His Word, and that's what we're going to continue to follow. We don't need to be flashy over here. So we do our best to be professional and to be faithful. And that's the point of what I'm doing. So if we can help, we will help. And, if we can't, I'll try to point you in the direction of someone who can if I know of anybody. But I really just hope that you'll take a look at what we've got. Got some great authors that write for me. It's a nice family that we've grown over the years. Got about 58 active authors, I think. And we grew from nothing. Like, we grew from just me. And it's been quite a journey. So I hope that you will take the time to look at the website, maybe grab a book in the shop, and let us know what we can do for you. That's all I got. So I think that's a lot, and I think I'm gonna cut it off there, because as you can hear, I'm losing my voice. I only have so much. But take care. Have a good week. Enjoy your holiday this week. If I don't get a chance to get back on before next week, I hope that everybody has a very safe Independence Day holiday, and that you all come back to hear the next podcast. Thanks again. God bless. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to check out our website and blog. The blog is at www.leading-the-follower.com. Thanks and God bless.